Wow, good people. It is weird how all of a sudden good food has become bad food and bad food has become good food. Like you're going to see more cookie commercials, chip commercials than you will for any other thing in this planet. You're not going to see a lot of commercials for broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, tomatoes. You don't even see commercials for really produce anymore. Why? Why? We used to see the Idaho potatoes. Why? Why you don't see this stuff anymore? The reason why you don't see this stuff anymore is because it's not marketed to you. They don't care. They don't. Why don't they care? Well, it's simple as this. It's mind over matter. You don't mind, so they don't matter. It don't matter to them. They can go in any direction that they see fit. They did a survey saying we're going to list the ingredients of everything that's in these foods. So they tell you about all the chemicals and all the artificial flavoring that is used for these products. And they said, well, knowing what you know, would you still take this or would you take this? 54% still chose the artificial, saying, well, it just tastes better. And hey, everybody I know is still living. So it is what it is. Now, the whole process altogether is mixed into a debate system. Everybody's debating on what should be done about things. Everybody's still debating on how things should be handled. You feel me? Now, let's get to this whole debate on food. When did we become so dumb that we need to sit around and debate on is a food good or not? When did we start doing that? That's just dumb. People know if something is right or if it's wrong. You know, I'm not gonna say eating broccoli gonna save your life. Eating asparagus and all that's gonna save your life, or snacking on a carrot, it's just not gonna hurt you either. You can never go wrong eating carrots, vegetables, or anything. You can't. That's a healthy way to move forward. But if you ask somebody else, they'll rather grab a Coca Cola and just say, hey, I'm drinking a Coca Cola today. That's what I felt like drinking. I know 90% of what's in here is terrible for me, but I like the taste. And they roll with it. And it just is what it is. Now, in another sense, you have all of these other people who are coming up with the notion of different type of foods and veggies and what's good for children and what's good for people growing up. These chemicals that they're adding more and more of and changing, they're actually putting medicine into foods, like netamycin for shredded cheese. Netamycin is eye fungus medicine, and they use what they try to tell you in the ingredients. If you look at any shredded cheese, it's only small controlled doses so that the FDA could approve it. It keeps the cheese from molding. They actually have one to keep the cheese from sticking to each other, and that is actual sawdust. And they keep the cheese from sticking, but it's not enough to make you not go ahead and use it. But no, why get the cheese with natamycin in it? Just grab a regular block of cheese and use it and shred it up. I don't want natamycin on my foods. I don't have eye fungus, so I don't think I need natamycin. So I won't be eating shredded cheese. But now at least you know what's in your Taco Bell. So when you're eating that cheesy burrito, just know you're eating some old cheesy eye fungus medicine. So when good foods become bad foods, natural is always going to be better for you than artificial. You're going to know that, period. But they try to swing you off of it because they market artificial. And why would they market artificial? Because it's less costly. They're not in the business of extending lives. They're in the business of making money off the lives as long as they can, and to the next one fall off and another one come on board. This is their game, and this is how they like to play it. It's been very much considerable to the fact that all of these people are what you would call prisoners of the moment. And since they're prisoners of the moment, everything's like a playground. And when it comes to the food administration, even for kids, they are getting more of the kids. If you look up, diabetes is up 22% with children. Child diabetics is up. Heart disease is up. Young people having strokes before the age of 40 is up 12%. Female obesity is up 17%. Male obesity up 24%. And these are numbers that are greatly affected by the fact that people don't seem to get, grasp, or understand or know how to function around meals. Now, they say, well, it's different in different areas. You're correct. Down south, the numbers are high with cholesterol level because they eat a lot of foods that are not favorable to them, as a lot of our ancestors had to do, as they started eating a lot of pork, a lot of high cholesterol meals that weren't good for their bodies. And once it does that, you're tearing yourself down and putting a lot of stress on yourself, and you're not doing the things you need to extend your life anymore past a certain age. So, watching people destroy themselves or go to another extreme because they don't want to change or modify the way they eat. You're not supposed to eat till you're full. You're supposed to eat enough to survive. You don't eat because it tastes good or because you want it. You eat because you need it. Your body needs the food to survive, but you don't need to eat as much as you do. Well, when you were younger in your families, in the 70s and 60s, it wasn't a lot of food to go around. So guys survived. And some nights they didn't even have food. You got like five brothers and four sisters. It's a crazy household. Everybody's got to look out for each other, and that's how they moved as a unit. Well, everyone survived in our family, and we didn't have a lot of problems because we didn't have a lot of outside people in our family. Like if we knew you, you were considered family, and that was it. That was just that was just how we moved. But you know what? Kids who have a healthy balance, they started eating different. Now, we didn't really have a perfect healthy upbringing as a kid. I remember eating junk food all the time, but I burned off a lot of that sugar and everything because I was highly active. Meaning I played sports, I went running in the park, I did we did everything. We weren't to sit around and play video games. Nowadays, to see kids at a playground is like a shock. These kids now, they just want to be indoors all day playing video games and TikToking, and now that leads for a lot of sugar intake and nothing to be burnt off. So where's that sugar going to go? It's going to stay in your system and cause obesity, and the kid will grow so they stretch, and the sugars will just stay in the blood system longer than it should and cause a lot of bloating. So it's just food for thought. It's food for thought. If I was everybody in the game, I'll be looking at it from an entirely different perspective as well. But I believe in the simple things. It starts from what you eat and eat young. If you get these kids it's basically like you adjust them to a bedtime. If you adjust them to a dinner and a mealtime, then you will, should be able to conquer anything that you do. Now, I'm going to sit over here and try to get myself ready for the Super Bowl. I'll talk to you guys later. Love, peace, and hair grease. Let's go 49ers.